Hello, I am live apparently. I think. I haven't done this for so long. Let's see. Let me get all my settings ready. Make sure that my thingy is on here. Okay, let me fix my webcam. Oh my gosh, I've done this in forever. Can you guys hear me? Is anyone out there? Is anybody out there? If you are, please tell me that you can hear me. I just want to fix this a little bit. Hold on. Whoopsie doodles. Whoop. Ali Faye is right next to me. I'm just trying to make it look nice because there you go. That's too high. I want you to see Ali Faye Faye. You can hear? Okay, thanks, Heather. Okay, Ali Faye Faye, say hi to Heather. Say hi to Heather. No, don't lick my face. Okay, lick my face. She's so cute. Can you see me? Can you see Heather? Oh my gosh, okay. She requires so much attention. I wanted to fix my hair a little bit too. I was trying to go for the Sharon Stone look a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, you gonna stay put, Ali Faye? She's right in my wires, so if she gets up, my microphone might go flying, so we'll just have to deal with that when it comes. All right. So, welcome, my friends. Gratitude Hour is back. It's back in black. I am going to be here live every Sunday at this time to talk about life and struggles and challenges and how to bring more joy and gratitude and peace into our lives. That is my goal. And thank you to everyone who is watching on the replay. There are a few people who can't make it to the live stream, so I just wanted to say hello, my sisters, and I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, thank you so much, Heather. I just noticed, though, I've got one of those wrinkly things. I used to wear my bangs, right? So anything that was going on the forehead was hidden, but now I'm noticing I've got the wrinkly thing going on here. I'm going to have to put a Breathe Right on before bed to stretch it out there. I usually wear them on my nose, but maybe I'll put one here too, just to stretch that out, to get rid of that worried wrinkle. Is that what it is? The worry wrinkle? I don't know. Yeah, I'm due for another job because the grays are coming through, but that's okay. I kind of like it. I like it. It was necessary, right? Very necessary. I needed a transformation. I know, it is so much fun. Are you a fan, by the way? My friend Nick gave this to me. She sent this to me for Christmas so I could have it on the finale. I don't know if you were watching Stranger Things or not, but I'm a big fan, especially of Eddie. Oh, Eddie. I get all teary. Yeah, aging is so much fun. But you know something? One thing that I decided this year was that I'm going to do whatever is necessary to make my life easier as I age, because I don't want my life to be difficult anymore. I don't want my life to be chaotic and dramatic anymore. I just want peace and I want harmony, harmony at home. I just, I'm done with all that other stuff. You know, anything that causes the least bit of drama, I'm walking away from. I don't want that anymore in my life. So, oh, you didn't watch it? Oh, it's such a great series. It's a very, what do they call it? A niche series. A lot of people absolutely love it when they start watching it. I think it's on Netflix, but I don't have Netflix anymore because I decided to downsize because I had to start getting frugal. I was forced into frugality, but it's okay. I'm doing all right. And I cut out all the streaming services. That's it. Once in a while, I might take like a free trial somewhere, but then I never go through with anything after that because I just need to save all of my pennies, you know? Yeah, as we age. Like I bought this, I made an investment. I have to check on the wood stove. Actually, why don't I move this over so you can see the fire? Can you see it? Wait a second. No, this way. Is it going out? I can't move because of Ali Faye. Hold on. Maybe I could move over here. There. Nope, this way. There's the fire. Because I'm heating with wood from now on, it saves me a lot of money. My power bill probably cost thousands of dollars over the winter here. I use 1 cord of wood every winter, and it costs $300. So the only thing that I have to do is put in my time and my labor and my efforts, and that's it. It's a lot of work, but it saves me so much money. Plus, I love it. It's so cozy, but it gets really hot in here. Yesterday, it got up to, I think it was 27 degrees Celsius, which is, let me look. Let's see. I'm going to use voice prompt. 27 Celsius to Fahrenheit. 80 degrees. It was 80 degrees in this room yesterday. I had to open all the windows, but the thing is you can't stop the fire because you want to keep it going so you don't have to restart it all over again. But I'm getting there. Oh yeah, you had a similar stove? I had this one installed in the fall. I'd been saving for 5 years to put in a wood stove because there was a wood stove here when I bought the house in Quiet Raven. There was a wood stove here when I bought the house in 2020, but it had a crack in it. And I used it for emergencies when we had no power in the winter, but I was afraid to use it. So I was saving, and I finally got this one installed. It's not it's not standard size. It's a smaller one, but it's perfect for this place, just perfect. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about boundaries. I have cards from this deck, the Set Boundaries deck. I think boundaries are something that we could all brush up on, learn more about, and implement more. Not just create them, because anyone can just create boundaries. It's enforcing them that's the difficult thing. For the last 10 months, I've been really working hard on creating boundaries because I used to be a pushover. I was just like, whatever anyone needed or wanted, okay, I'll go along with that. That's no problem. Even though inside sometimes it made me feel sick to my stomach, I would just be like, yeah, okay, because I hated conflict. I didn't want conflict. I didn't want any kind of confrontation. So I went along with everything. And that's terrible. That's the worst form of people pleasing. So I don't want to be like that anymore. So I've written some notes because I don't want to forget anything. But yeah, now I'm very, very careful about my own personal space and my time and my energy because I've noticed since he died in May, for those of you watching who don't know, my late husband died by suicide last May. And it was due to the fact that apparently that I asked for a separation last February, just over a year ago. He didn't want it. He said he was never going to leave me. And he ended up taking his life a few months later. But I've noticed since that happened that I've become extremely delicate emotionally, and maybe not so much physically and mentally, but emotionally, I'm extremely delicate. So I really have to protect myself now. I call myself a dainty doily. That was actually, I stole that. I steal a lot of my humor, but that was from the Frasier show. If you guys know Frasier, he was like the biggest snob in the world, him and his brother. And their father was a cop. He was a tough, rough guy, right? So, hey, no growling, Miley. Come on, over. Go on. Her hackles are up. Why is that? She's by herself. I don't know what's going on with her. Everyone else is here. Anyway, so the father used to call his sons dainty doilies. So that's where I took it from. I'm a dainty doily. I have become a dainty doily. So yeah, maintaining and enforcing them. Because it's easy to say like, oh, I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. But then if you become like a doormat and a pushover like I was, boundaries are useless, and you're basically teaching yourself that you can't trust yourself. It's like making a decision and then not following through with it. you can't trust yourself, and your brain starts to recognize things like that, and it brings you into a really bad downward spiral sometimes, you know. Um, oh, thanks, Heather. The thing is, he talked about it a lot and threatened it a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I stayed. Um, and I'm going to talk about that in a video that I'm putting out on this channel this week. I believe it's tomorrow or the next day. It's called The Disease of Hope. And I talk about very candidly about some things in the relationship. So um, he had his own struggles, but his mental health challenges went untreated. So that added to it. So I kind of knew he was going to do it, but it was still shocking and traumatic when I found him, you know. So Alana, hi Alana. Thank you so much for being here, sweetheart. Thank you. Hello, ladies. So happy to see you here. You know, I'm so rusty with this. I haven't done a live stream. I did one live stream since April last year. I mean, remember how many I used to do? Like, we had TTT going for a while, and Saturday Night Love and Gratitude Hour, and then I had that morning show on Mondays, and I did guest stars, guest appearances on other people's, and it was just, and Jackie and I started doing Monday Mystics, I think it was called. I can't remember. I did so many. I was getting there, you know, and then that happened and it shut me down completely. So I'm doing very well, Alana. Thank you very much. I think I did another video that's coming out in 2 weeks. It's called Anticipatory Grief. And I talk about how I had an encounter with somebody I know recently who kind of seemed a little judgy when I said I was doing great, because they knew what happened and they knew it was 10 months ago. And it was like they were judging me for not being appropriately grieving and upset, and the wailing widow or something, you know. And it sort of got me thinking, because I started feeling a little guilt. Like, why should I really be feeling good? It's only been 10 months, you know. But I realized that I had been grieving the end of the relationship for years. And so that's called anticipatory grief, and that's what I had for years, and that's why I think I was able to bounce back quicker than maybe some people would have when something like that happens. But I'm feeling really, really good. I feel like I'm back, baby. TTT was fun. You know, we did it for a year and a half, I think. It was fun. But, you know, I'm sort of not in that direction anymore. I'm more moving in the direction of, I guess you would say, self-help direction. And I've put my spiritual side private now. I found that I feel very vulnerable when I talk about spiritual matters. And like I said before, I'm a dainty doily now. I'm very delicate. So all of my spiritual stuff I'm keeping private now. I still have a very strong practice every day, but I'm definitely keeping it on the private side these days. I still enjoy watching the videos on it, but I won't discuss any of that publicly anymore. Maybe one day, you know, a reboot. Is that what they're calling all those shows, are reboots now, right? Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry, Alana. Just after Christmas. I'm glad you're doing okay, though. Yeah, I know, Heather. Like, keep your judginess to yourself, you know? That person actually said, "Oh my God, if it happened to me, I would never get over it." And I got the face when I said I was doing well, because they noticed the hair change and all that. Oh, I said, "Yeah, I love my new look." And they were like, "Shut up, you face. Leave me alone." Yeah, you knew it was coming, Alana. That's another thing. That's a great example of anticipatory grief, when someone's maybe in hospice or they're sick. In that video that's coming out in a couple of weeks, I talk about, when I watch my pets age, I get anticipatory grief because I know it's inevitable. Speaking of that, Heather's already seen her, but this is Ali Faye. She's so heavy sleeping on my lap right now. Oh gosh, how's the weather for you guys? We're having crazy, crazy maritime weather. Um, Last Thursday, I went to do my monthly shopping and it was 20 degrees out. I looked it up, 68 Fahrenheit for those of you who don't know. Alana, you must have had that weather in Toronto too, right? On Thursday last week when it was like summertime, it went up to 20 degrees here. It was crazy. I had my winter boots on. I was like sweating, like baking like a meatloaf in my winter boots. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on in the world? And then, of course, the next day it went below freezing and it was snowing. And it was snowing today, and tomorrow it's supposed to be raining, like biblical rain. I feel like I'm going to have to build an ark or something. There's going to be so much rain, and I'm not looking forward to the swimming pool mess that's going to be out there in the next couple of days. Oh my gosh. You're working on a grief series. Good for you, Alana. I think that when we work on these series and when we present our ideas after we've done research, it can be very, very healing. I'm finding this channel now extremely healing for myself. I've always said that my psychology diploma studies have been very healing for me because it's modern applied psychology. So what I'm learning is to apply the concepts of psychology to the modern world and to my life so that I can explain them to other people in a simplified way and share the message and hopefully help people along the way. That's the idea of modern applied psychology, and that's what I'm doing. So part of that is being on this channel and sharing what I've learned, giving my own life experiences as examples, and maybe getting people to think about how they can apply this to their lives to make their lives better. Yeah, the weather is bipolar. Oh my God, it's crazy. 70 this week, that is probably 21 Celsius. That's like room temperature. That's nice. I've got spring fever. The dogs have spring fever too. Oh my gosh. There's so many little squirrels running around. It's so cute. Yeah. The weather. That's all we talk about, eh? Talk about, oh, the weather this, the weather that. I was complaining that it was so hot that I was sweating on Thursday. And then, I complain that the winters are too long. So what am I complaining about? What the hell am I complaining about? Oh, Heather, that's great. Oh, that's true. You wrote PNW. That's Pacific Northwest, right? How are you? I guess you're loving, I almost said oregano. Oregon. Oregon? I'm like one of those people who can't pronounce things. I was watching this comic. I can't say the last name because I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it's Nate B something Buzzazaza. And his comedy act plays like he's this sort of dumb guy from Tennessee. And he's like, I can't pronounce oil, O-I-L. I say tin foil. I say motor oil. And I can't say Oregon. Oregano, Oregon. Peer specialist training. That's great. How long is the program? Is it full time? Any education that you can get, especially for free? Yes. I thought in Canada there was free education for seniors, and well, I'm almost there. I'm 58 now. So I was thinking of, look what I'm doing to her ear, Heather. And she's letting me. She's sleeping. If I can get free education, edumacation, I am going for it. Definitely. I have to look into that. But right now I'm sort of swamped with the psychology diploma. I registered for a course in criminology, and I'm doing my certification as a life coach. Plus, I have all these other things that I registered for. There's some on Udemy. There's one that's a diploma in art therapy, a diploma in grief counseling, CBT counseling. I have a long list of stuff that I'm learning to try to sort of put everything together. And I don't want to be a specialist in everything. I want to take all this knowledge and apply it in a different way, in my own personal way, the Rain way. Ooh, I should patent and copyright that, the Rain way. Alana says, yes, we had 20 degrees on Monday. Then by Thursday or Friday, we had packed snow. Yeah, it snowed overnight here, but I'm glad it did because, excuse me, there was, after the 20-degree day, it got really cold and it was an ice rink out there, and the poor dogs, they had to walk out there and it was very dangerous. I have cleats on my boots, but they were having a hard time. I had to take them out on leashes because normally I let them run around the property on their own, but I wasn't going to risk that because when I got Raven, my Rottweiler, in 2022, before I got her, she slipped on the ice at the shelter and she tore a ligament in her back leg and she had to wear a brace. They did a fundraiser to pay for the brace. And then I was lucky enough to be chosen to adopt her. I think she came to me in May. She had the brace and it didn't fit well. So I actually had to drive to near Truro, Nova Scotia, and have it refitted actually at the place for her. She had to wear it for 3 years until she recovered. It was either that or a $15,000 surgery. Hello. Are you kidding me? She wore it for 3 years and now she's better, and I was terrified that she was going to hurt herself again, but she was okay, thankfully. The jack of all trades, yes, in a good way. Alana, don't take this personally. I hate that saying because someone said that to me once, but not in a good way. You're a jack of all trades, master of none. When they found out I had 4 YouTube channels, nothing against you at all. I know you said it in a nice way. But I took that as a real insult. Like, I don't want to be a master of one. Are you kidding me? I don't want to be a specialist in anything. I want to dip my toe everywhere. I want to experience everything I can in this life. I want to be a jack of all trades, master of all. That's what I want. Okay, Heather says, you said it right. Oregon, Motor Ol. It's a 3-week online course starting in April. I then do trauma-informed certification in May. I'm also going to inquire into life coaching with an arts focus. That's good. There are some good courses on Udemy. And here's a little tip. If you put it in your shopping cart and let it sit there, usually within a day or two, it's like 70 to 90% off the price. So that's how I do it. All right. Working with fellow mental health individuals. Yeah, that's good, Heather. Because you've been in therapy for a while and you've had your life experiences. You're getting better and you're doing better. And you can share your own life experiences with other people. Like I went through burnout, I went through depression, I went through anxiety, I had panic disorder. Of course, I went through trauma, grief from his suicide. And all of those things I've experienced, and I know what it feels like to go through them. So I can relate to people. And I think that helps people a lot more, especially when you can relate to them because you've been through it. And you're not there to tell them what to do. You're not there to just tell your story. You're there to try to help them get through it. And by extending your story to people, they may not feel so alone. Like I know when I was going through, I can talk about it openly now. I didn't want to back then, but when I was going through the difficult relationship, I went to a lot of YouTube channels on coercive control, domestic abuse, emotional and verbal abuse. And I learned things, and it helped me to build my inner strength so that I could finally make that decision to cut it off and walk away from it. You know what happened, but I wasn't expecting that to happen like that. But in hearing other people's stories, I was able to get educated on it, realize that there is a way out, but also realize that I have to do it when I'm ready. And I understood why I stayed so long. And all of that made a lot of sense to me. And with knowledge comes power, as they say, and it really, really does, because I was able to stop all of that finally, even with the threat of him taking his life, which he did threaten. And he did go through with it. So for a while, I had that terrible misplaced guilt, thinking that it was my fault. Um, but now I'm just doing so much better. But I don't want to harp on that. I just keep going back to that because I guess it was a huge part of my life. You know, it's something that it was a turning point in my life. If we look at cards, that was my tower moment, right? That was it. My foundation fell apart, and then I had to rebuild. But now I'm the star. Udemy is not always considered uh, international with their certification. You have to see, you know, it depends. Like the diploma course that I'm taking, it's actually from a school. So that's different, but I do it on the school website. He has some stuff on Udemy, but I'm actually paying for the course online at his accredited school. So Alana says, there is absolutely nothing wrong with being a jack of all trades or even being a master of one. Both have their purpose. Now imagine when both actually work together. Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. You've been through a lot of poop too over the years. Time to reboot and reinvent. Yeah. 2026 is a good year. I felt like 2025 was seeping in a little bit at the beginning of the year for me. But 2026, and it's not just me, I've noticed in other people who I've spoken to, 2026 seems to be a year where there's power. There's a lot of power. Yeah, we're all proud of you, Heather. We need to seize the day. So I wanted to just talk about a little bit about boundaries right now. I mentioned before that I've got the Set Boundaries deck that I've been working with for the last 10 months. And I decided that I wanted to create boundaries for myself. It's one thing to create boundaries around other people. And like I mentioned, did I mention the pets? I kicked them out of the bed now. I had to create that boundary because I wasn't able to sleep with them all in the bed. Imagine 5 dogs and the cat. Well, Oscar, he's right next to me. Actually, Ali Faye's foot is on him and he doesn't even care. He sneaks in, but that's okay because I don't wake up when he sneaks in. But I had to kick the dogs out of my bed. But I decided I wanted to create boundaries for myself. Do you guys create boundaries for yourself, or do you just create boundaries for other people? I learned about this year just by going through that deck. It's very, very informative. So, one of the boundaries that I created for myself is I'm not putting up with abuse from anyone, including myself. After he died, I spent about 3 months drinking excessively. And it was just to escape, really to escape. And that's abusive behavior towards myself. So I don't do that anymore. I stopped any kind of behavior that I would consider abusive if someone else treated me that way. And I don't do that anymore. So no more abusive behavior from anyone or from myself towards myself. Another one is I won't let anyone else control my actions or my emotions. The days of walking on eggshells are gone. If I have to walk on eggshells around someone and I voice my opinion or I voice my concern and it's not well received, I walk away from those eggshells now. I'm not doing that anymore. I get to do and feel what I want in my own time and in my own home, right? Another one is I won't do anything anymore that makes me feel uncomfortable. Um, Things that I did in the past went against my values a lot of the times, and I felt very uncomfortable about it, but I was doing it so as not to create waves or to create, rock the boat. Um, and it made me sick to my stomach sometimes. But now anything that makes me feel uncomfortable, I have to sit with it for a bit and understand why it makes me feel uncomfortable because it could be just residual anxiety or something like that. I want to make sure, does this really make me feel uncomfortable and why? And if it does, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. Also, I won't let anyone's opinion or judgment determine my self-worth anymore. Everyone has a right to their own opinion, but I don't have to personalize that and take that as a hit to my self-esteem and to my confidence. I believe what I believe about myself, and if someone else has a negative opinion about me, that's okay, you have that right. Thank you for letting me know, but that's your opinion, and I don't care what you think. I know who I am. And a big one, big boundary for me, I am not ruminating anymore. No more thinking of negative thoughts, bad memories, negative emotions, all of that, not doing that anymore. If they pop up, they pop up, but I'm not allowing them to linger. Like, I actually say to myself out loud, and it's several times a day still. I find myself sort of talking to him, and saying, "Oh, remember when you said this and did that and did that? Well, you were so wrong and this and that." And then I go, "Rain, stop ruminating. Stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it." And so I stop. And then I go pet the dogs or something like that. But it happens like it's automatic, you know? What's that? What's their name? The Pointer Sisters. Completely automatic. That's what happens. It's automatic. Oh, and another huge, huge boundary for myself. I take care of myself first now. I put my own health, well-being over everything else, no matter what, because I am aging. I need to take care of my body. I need to take care of my mind and my emotions and my finances. I mentioned all of this in that life update video. Um, I come first now, no matter what. If there's some big emergency that has to happen and somebody needs my attention right away, no, no. If I'm not ready for it, I'm not ready for it. And if I need to do my Tai Chi, if I need to do my yoga, that comes first. I'm not doing that anymore. That's just, I've been through so much. And, I never really had personal boundaries for myself. So, whatever's left of my life, I want to thrive. And for me, health is the starting place for that. Exercise and taking care of myself and my emotions and my finances and my body, my physical health and my digestion and things like that. So the things that come first for me are exercise, eating well, mindfulness, relaxation, connection. All that comes first. So, are you okay, honey? Baby Oscar the cat just woke up. And on that note, I wanted to show you this. It's empty now, but one of the things that I want to do is to try to drink more water. I want to be um, hydrated. So I found this. Can you see the markings on it? You may not be able to see, but this holds a liter of water, which is 4 cups, and it's from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And it has little words on it. It says, "Get started, drink up, keep going, don't give up, almost there, you did it." And of course, refill on the bottom because you have to refill it once, because it's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So you're drinking this much water every hour so you can get your water in. I had a hard time drinking water because I have well water and it's got iron bacteria in it, which is not dangerous, but it gives it this sickeningly sweet taste. And I was like, I can't stand it. So I was putting cranberry juice in to sort of cut it down. But one of my goals is to cut out sugar or all excessive sugar this year. And I've done a good job, but I haven't been able to take it out of my water. So I found a way. I bought sparkling spring water and I pour a little bit into the well water and it tastes amazing. So I'm doing so well on my hydration. I'm so proud of myself. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Meta! Oh my gosh, Meta, hi! Hello, hello, hello. Long time no see. Okay, I wanna just catch up here a little bit. Chat, chat, chat. Check out the chat. All right, let's see. I have to go up a little bit. Oh, thank you, Heather. I did try to get him help. Well, I tried. He wouldn't. Enough said. So you need to create boundaries for yourself. Yeah, that's something we don't really think about, right? We don't think about creating boundaries for ourselves. All we think about is creating boundaries around other people. Like, I'm not going to let this person do this anymore. I'm not, this and that and this and that. But we have to create boundaries for ourselves too, because I think we let ourselves get away with too much sometimes. Good for you, Alana. You're working on that too. Good for you. Heather says, Nick. Okay. Heather didn't say Nick. I just said Nick because Nick isn't supposed to be here today. I said hello to you, sister. You're in the parking lot? Ah, you're waiting for your kids to finish their lunch before you go shopping. Okay. So yeah, Nick has to go grocery shopping on a Sunday. Oh my God. We all wish you well, Nick. Thank you so much, Nick, for being here. Thank you. Look what I'm drinking from. Nick gave me this. She gave me this mug for Christmas. So Heather said, my health, especially weight, needs a major overhaul. I've gained so much weight. I'm overwhelmed with it. Yeah, that's, have you ever heard of Dr. Berg? I forget his first name. I can't remember. I've been watching his channel. He is so good. He talks a lot about mostly things that we put in our bodies that are toxic for us. He talks about the science behind sugar and what that does to our bodies and how it spikes insulin. And insulin comes around and starts to use sugar as energy instead of stored fat as energy. And if we remove the sugar from our diet, our body gets used to burning the fat stores instead of burning the sugar as our energy source. But he goes into it like really, and he makes it understandable. I would totally go check him out if Dr. Berg, Berg, he's got like 1,000 million followers. You're addicted to sugar. What sugar is it's deadly. After you start learning about it, Heather, seriously, like learn about it. Education will change your mind on sugar. And you don't have to cut it off like bang, like that. You do it slowly. Like I don't have sugar in my coffee anymore. Like I said, I don't put juice is the worst. Cranberry juice in my water anymore. I don't bake sweets anymore. Once in a while, I'll bake cookies, but I'll try to, make sure that I stay under 30 grams of sugar every day. And that includes all sugars, all added sugars. Like if you eat an apple, it has fructose in it. But because you're eating the apple, it has the fiber. The fiber stops the insulin from secreting from your pancreas. So your brain isn't saying, okay, we have to burn sugar as our energy. Your brain will still start burning fat. So it's a lot to learn, but it's very interesting once you start learning about it. Alana just woke up to the realization that I've been someone who has been triangulated by my family and others for over 40 years, and I'm only 43 years old. It's never too late to change things for yourself, Alana. Educate yourself on what's going on. Be mindful about the reality of situations. Go at your own pace. Don't listen to what everybody else says, which I'm telling you what to do now. So don't listen to me, but really go at your own pace and realize how you can get healthy. It may not mean distancing yourself from your family. It may mean creating very strong boundaries and enforcing them in diplomatic ways. It's not like step off, it's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't. No, not sorry. You're not supposed to say sorry when you're telling people about boundaries. And that brings me to something here I wanted to show you. Hold on. On this card, it's called Boundary Basics. 3 things to avoid when communicating a boundary. 1 is apologizing, 1 is wavering, and 1 is saying too much. So I can give you an example of that. At one time in my life, there was somebody who wanted to be my friend who lived close to me. And not that I didn't want to be her friend, but I'm an introvert. I'm not somebody who has a lot of real life friends. I love the online community. I love contacting people that way. But I don't like being social outside of my home. I'm a real hermit when it comes to being in my home. And she wanted to go out for coffee and she wanted to hang out. And so I had to be diplomatic about it. And I didn't know how to tell her. And my old ways would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm busy, or I'm sorry, I don't really feel comfortable being outside. I'm sorry. It's because of this and because I'm wavering, apologizing, and saying too much. I was doing that. All three of those things that you're not supposed to do when you're communicating a boundary to someone. So eventually I was just like, this happened recently. It was a part-time neighbor who lives in the area. I said, you're a wonderful person. We're just very different. I am not comfortable being outside of the house. I hope you understand. That's all I said. And it went very well. And she said, okay, so friendly, but not friends. And I said, yeah, is that okay with you? I'm perfectly fine with that. So it's not like she was good too. She received it well. Some people don't receive your boundaries well. And when they don't receive them well, they're testing you because they don't like giving up that control over you or the situation. But she was so good about it. So we're still friendly. We wave to each other and stuff like that. But there's no pressure to have a social life together. Okay, so where was I? Nick says, hey, Heather, listen to Rain, watch Dr. Berg. Highly recommended. Yeah, he's great. You love juice? Oh, juice is so bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break your bubble there. Juice is so bad. It's so full of sugar because there's no fiber in it. If you have a little juice, try to get juice with pulp in it. If you want orange juice, get the juice with the pulp in it. At least that way you're getting just the tiniest amount of fiber. Read the labels and you're going to see how much sugar is in there. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ideally, you want to stay under 50 grams of added sugar every day. 1 cup of orange juice, the Oasis orange juice, is 23 grams of sugar. And if you put 3 sugar cubes in your coffee, I think it's 18 grams of sugar. So a coffee and a juice, that's it. No more sugar after that if you want to stay under the 50 grams so that you're not, adding too much toxins to your body. I'm not an expert on that, but I'm learning from Dr. Berg. Heather says, I don't have any vices really, and when I need comfort, I go to food. I love my soda. I'm down to once a day, but still, well, baby steps. I was watching this woman. She said that her mother was dependent on alcohol and cigarettes, and she wanted to get healthy. So she decided she wanted to cut out the cigarettes. So she started chewing nicotine gum. And then she decided she was going to keep chewing the nicotine gum and cut down on the alcohol, but she still had 2 glasses of beer every night. And then eventually she got rid of the nicotine gum and replaced it with gum, regular gum, knowing that sugar is bad for you, but she had to do this gradually. And then she cut out the alcohol, going down to 1 beer a day, and then 1 beer on the weekend, and then nothing. And then with the gum, she went to sugar-free gum, which is even worse for you because of all the fake sugar in it, right? And then eventually she was able to give up the gum and she just put a toothpick in her mouth. And it took her years, but she was able to give up the smoking and the drinking. She replaced it with other things that weren't really that healthy, but it worked for her. So that's the thing. If you're down to 1 soda a day, that's great. Why don't you just try to have some sparkling water? If you get the urge to have soda, put some sparkling water in a glass just one time and sip on that and tell yourself, this is amazing. I love this. And then just try to keep doing that once in a while instead of the soda, especially the diet sodas. Those are really bad for you. Okay, let's see. Alana says, I know. Thank you. I'm working on reclaiming all that for myself. Well, all those, with the exception of my mother, abandoned me when I broke apart. Well, been there. Yeah, my best friend told me she didn't want to catch my depression, and she never spoke to me ever again. That was after I burned out, and that still hurts a little bit. Alana says, I do usually water down my juice though. I also don't drink coffee. Watering your juice down is good. Keep watering it down and watering it down. And see if you like the taste of herbal tea without sugar in it. That's a little, some of them are very fruity. That's a good substitute for juice. Yeah, Heather, sugar-free, anything is awful. Oh my God. The food industry, I'm not even going there. There'll be food industry thugs at my door if I start talking crap about the food industry. Nick says, I'm the same, Heather. Any kind of emotion leads to some kind of food. And I also understand the soda. I'm also down to one Diet Coke a day and feel bad about it. You're laughing at the sparkling water. Why are you laughing at the sparkling water, Nick? Sparkling water is good. That's because Dr. Berg says to drink sparkling water. I do everything Dr. Berg says. I swear to God. He's the light of my life. No, but really, he calls himself, what does he call himself? The something doctor. Hold on. Heather waters down her juice and iced tea just so I can have a light sweetness. Yeah. There's something that I'm going to try, actually. Nick sent me something, and I bought it. Unsweetened coconut. There was a lady who put it in her blender. I think she added a little water, and she said it's such a great substitute. It's sweet. It's a great substitute for sugar, and it's got 0 carbohydrates in it, meaning 0 sugars. And I bought it, and I never tried it. So I have to try that. I just want to see if I can find Dr. Berg here. Dr. Berg. He's big on the keto diet and on the carnivore diet, but he explains why. Is that the one? Here we go. I'm going to share a screen with you guys, okay? If I remember how to do it. Hold on. My other sister is here. Septina. I didn't think you'd be here. At the beginning, I said, I want to say hi to my sisters who aren't here today. Nick and you show up. That's so funny. Hi, sweetheart. Nick says, and since I started listening to Dr. Berg, I am down 30 pounds, intermittent fasting, no snacking, meditation, and journaling instead of snacking. That's amazing, Nick. I am so proud of you. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Yes. I'm so proud of you. And Alana says, "Oh, Rain, I'm sorry to hear that. You can't catch depression." I know she was so ignorant. I was saying before that my best friend since I was 6 years old, her name was Stephanie. After my burnout, after the burnout, I'm not personalizing it anymore. You have to watch self-talk. After the burnout that happened to me, I developed depression and anxiety. And my best friend at the time stopped speaking to me and never spoke to me ever again because she didn't want to catch my depression. We were just talking about how people, anyway. So let me share this screen with you if I can figure out how to do it. It's been so long. Share screen. Here he is. And he's not hard to look at either. Hold on. There he is. Can you see him, guys? Can you see Dr. Berg? There he is. The knowledge doc. That's it. Oh, and he copywrote that. Good for him. He's great. He's so easy to listen to, and he explains the science in ways that are like easy to understand. Here, let me see. See, look, 0 sugar. Dirty secret. What else? There we go. Some of his videos. He's so prolific. He does like, I don't know how many. Eric, that's it. Dr. Eric Berg. He does so many videos. I mean, like at least one every other day or something. And when you subscribe to him, he also has he does his community posts, right? Okay, bye, Nick. Have fun. She's taking her kids, or one of her kids is ice fishing today, but she's going shopping while he ice fishes. I hope everybody's going to be okay. Talk to you later, Nick. Love you. So there's Dr. Berg. Okay, let's see. Let me change this. There we go. Okay, I don't want to miss anything. There we go. Okay, so we're caught up. I wanted to just get back to the boundary talk a little bit since, we're talking about boundaries, and I brought out that deck. These are scenario cards. So if anyone's interested, I have a few of them, and I'll put something up here to show you. I'm going to give you some scenarios, okay, of ways where oh yeah, okay, yeah, Allison, we had a talk about carnivore. Um, I can't go carnivore because I don't digest meat very well. Um, and I need to, it's called this, the Set Boundaries deck. Um, I eat fish, but I don't digest meat very well. I can eat chicken once in a while, and I can't eat, like, she told me she eats like a pound of butter a day. I can't digest butter very well. I have IBS, so there's complications with that. But I am leaning more towards, I've added a lot of protein to my diet and I feel so much better. I don't eat as much. I don't have cravings or anything. Dr. Berg actually has, I think it's a 10-minute video on what to do when you start craving what he calls your addictions. So for me, it would be a glass of wine. That would be a glass of wine because if I have a bottle of wine in the house now, I drink the whole thing. I've come to terms with it and I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't have alcohol in the house anymore. If I'm going out to a restaurant, I'll have a glass of wine and I'm fine. But if I have a bottle in the house, down the hatch. I can't do it. So I don't have them. And that's how I stay away from that. But if you have like a sugar addiction, the first thing to do is get rid of all the sugar in your house if you can. But he has this video to show you what to do in an emergency situation. Anyway, I'm going on and on about him. I should definitely, he should pay me for this promotion. All right, first one. Let me share this screen with you guys. Okay. You're right. You're right. We all have to do what's best for us. You can't follow a set thing, but you can educate yourself and figure out from all the education that you've got what's best for you. You don't have to do what everybody else does. That's definitely, you don't have to do that. Okay. So where are we here? I wanted to show you, if I can find it. There we go. I want to share this screen with you. Okay. This is a scenario. So a coworker walks into your cubicle and hovers over you while you work. What kind of boundaries should you have on that? And how would you communicate that boundary? This is what they call a physical boundary. So what would you do? That's happened to me. And it was a CFO, Chief Financial Officer. I used to work at a trading firm. I was the administrator. He was higher up. But companies need a CFO in order to do business. If you're a financial institution, you have to have a CFO. But this guy didn't have enough work to fill an 8-hour day, but he was there for his title only pretty much. So he would work maybe 4 hours a day, and then he'd wander around the company the whole day trying to keep busy. And he'd stop by everyone's office, and he would come into my office and, "Hey, Rain, how you doing?" This and that. And I was so busy, and I didn't know how to tell him he was a higher up. So eventually I would say, like, "Is there anything I can do for you, John? Because I'm swamped here. I'm really swamped. I got to get back to it. I got a deadline." And he'd be like, "Oh, okay. I just want to say hi." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, hi, thank you." And then I used to be able to hear him coming down the hallway. So eventually I couldn't say that every time, but I would put my phone to my ear and pretend I was on the phone and go, like that. But that happens so much, And I want to show you this because this reminded me of this too. I'm going to share another screen with you. And this is a funny. So if I can find it, hold on. Okay. I don't know if you guys are Simpsons fans, if you watch The Simpsons. This is an episode of The Simpsons where this guy, Frank Grimes, he's like a real serious hard worker. And Homer's a goof off, right? So he would come into his office and he'd go, "Hey, Grimey, how you doing?" And he'd walk around and go, "Bloop, bloop, 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 bloop." And he'd sit on his desk and he'd chew on his pencils. That is the perfect example of a coworker coming in and basically, stealing your personal energy. But let me put this one back up for you. So how would you take care of this situation? Would you do what I did and sort of state your boundary nicely? Or I didn't even state a boundary, I guess. I just said I was busy, but I didn't know how to deal with that with a higher up. So let's see. Septina says, I think it's safe to say that sugar and alcohol are bad for everyone. Moderation works for most, but not all. Yeah, I tried moderation with the wine and it didn't work. It didn't work. Maybe one day I'll be able to have a glass of wine and then put the bottle in the fridge and I'll be fine, because I really, really do like wine. hmm Always be honest and set a boundary. Yeah. But for people like me and some other people in the chat, we have what's called porous boundaries. We're learning. We're learning to set boundaries for ourselves and for others. I'm not speaking for anyone. I'm speaking for myself. I had porous boundaries, not rigid boundaries. There were little holes that, things seeped through and I let things go and it wasn't really a boundary. So that's one thing. You gotta, if a coworker does that, that's one thing. If it's a boss, I mean, you still have to try to create a boundary. If you want me to do my work, you can't keep coming in here, you know? Ah, yeah, Septina. I was a people pleaser too. I think a lot of us were. Definitely, I think a lot of us were people pleasers. Oh my gosh, a lot of us. Okay, I'm going to share another scenario with you. This is an emotional boundary, and this is not a nice one. And I hope it doesn't trigger anyone. Hold on. Where is it? A relative minimizes the impact of the trauma you have experienced. I'm sure that's happened to all of us here. I know that's happened to a few of us here. That happened to me. One of my relatives caused me a lot of harm in childhood. And as an adult, when I was after burning out, I did some therapy and that all came up. And my therapist encouraged me to confront my abuser, who was a relative. And I did confront that person over the telephone. That person ended up hanging up on me. And then I received I wrote it down because I don't want to mess up what I received in return. Sorry for the hurts, but you can't change the past. By email. No, dear Rain, love, relative. No, I want to make amends. I'm sorry. Sorry for the hurts, but you can't change the past. That's what I received in return. I mean, at the time it was devastating, but now I'm just laughing at it because it's like, what was I expecting? This person is never, ever going to make amends for what they did. Never. So I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I know, Septina. We've all been victims of this. Heather says the workplace can be difficult, at least for me. Many people get easily offended and it could make the workplace uncomfortable. I've had friends and family do this to me. Minimize your trauma. Yeah. It's such a dismissal, isn't it? Everyone goes through their own personal stuff. If I'm just giving an example, this isn't for anyone out there, but supposing your relationship broke up. For one person, it could be devastating to the point where they can't function. For another person, it could be like, okay, well, that was meant to happen. And for a third person, it takes them a couple of months and then they get over it and then they jump right back into another relationship with someone else. Everything is so subjective. There's no set rules. But if we have guidelines, if we educate ourselves about what we're going through, then we can pick and choose what we want, right? What we want to do, how we want to heal, how we want to deal with things. Definitely. So let's see. Septina says, someone always absorbs the discomfort in uncomfortable situations. I no longer allow myself to absorb discomfort I didn't create. That is a perfect example of a self-boundary. That is a perfect example. I was talking about that before you came on, Septina, about how I was creating boundaries for myself. Like the biggest one for me is I will no longer ruminate. If a bad memory or a negative feeling pops into my head, I allow it. But if I start going on and on about it, I stop myself and I actually say, Rain, stop ruminating. And that's it. I don't let them linger. You have to have self boundaries. That's a good one. I don't allow myself to absorb discomfort I didn't create. That's good for you. I don't do that either. I just brush it off. But it takes practice, right? Because we've been so used to doing that. It takes a lot of practice. So I'm going to show you another scenario. This is called a time boundary. Sorry, guys, I'm rusty on this. Here we go. You're tired of planning family vacations all by yourself. And this isn't just for vacations, you know. It could be other things. Like, I remember in my late teens and early 20s, I was a party girl. I was an 80s party girl. Woohoo! Take on me. And I used to be the one who used to plan all of our outings for our group of friends. I would plan the bars we go to. I would plan the restaurants. I would plan the movies. I would plan the parties. I would do all the calls. I was called the glue that kept everyone together. But the problem is they took advantage of that, or they took that for granted. So one day I started feeling not very appreciated, and I decided I'm not calling anyone this weekend. And guess what? Nobody called me. They didn't call me. So I realized that, oh my God, if I don't do all this stuff, that we're not all going to get together. So what do you do? You're tired of planning all this stuff by yourself. What is the boundary? You just got to be honest, you know, you got to be honest. But these are good scenarios to think about, you know, and how you might react to this. Not react, respond to it, because you want to think with your cold mind, not your hot mind. I learned that this week. Your cold mind makes decisions and takes action from a place of reasoning and rationality. Your hot mind makes decisions and takes actions from a place of impulsivity and emotion. So if you are wanting to make a decision, or you want to respond to somebody, you don't use your hot mind, because that's all emotional and that's just reactionary. And most people don't respond to that. And that makes you look, you know, kind of awful. Not that you should care what anybody thinks, but that's not a good way of doing things, because sometimes you'll do something or say something you regret if you're doing it impulsively. So always use your cold mind. So in this kind of scenario, if the vacation is coming up and you're the one who usually plans it, you got to take a step back, take some breaths, and say, okay, I've got to figure out how I'm going to create this boundary and communicate it in a diplomatic but firm way to the person who is being lazy and letting you do all the work. I says. Okay, bye, Heather. Thanks for popping by. Alana says you can't change the past, but you can take responsibility and accountability for your part in the hurt and make an effort to change your behavior. But many don't care. Many don't take the effort to change. That's very true. There's a lot of lip service, right? The 80s. Yeah, it was a great era. I love the 80s. I'm so glad that I grew up in the 80s. That's my favorite. Okay, wait. I just realized I had the wrong chat button going, so I hope I didn't miss anything here. I had it on top chat instead of live chat. Hold on. I just got a text and I'll listen to that later. So the next boundary I am going to, let's see, share with you. There's two more. I'm having fun, so I'm going to stay here if you guys don't mind. Oh yeah, this one. This is interesting. Your in-laws give you a gift with strings attached. How many of us have been through this, right? It doesn't have to be in-laws. It could be other things. And I'm thinking of one specific thing. I remember, oh gosh, was it 1989? 1989, I was working as a waitress at the Eaton's store restaurant. It was called Le Neuvième, the ninth floor, because it was on the ninth floor. And it was decorated like the Titanic. It was beautiful. It was very, very posh up there. And I worked there as a waitress. And Eaton's doesn't exist anymore. It was in Montreal. It was a big department store. I don't know. There might be one still in Toronto, right, you guys? But I worked there, and I had a coworker. He was a waiter. I forget his name, but he kind of had a crush on me, but I wasn't interested in him. Plus, I had a boyfriend at the time. But he won 2 tickets to the Metallica concert. I think Faith No More opened for them. I wasn't there for the opening act, but I got there for Metallica. And he wasn't a fan, and he was trying to offload these tickets, but where I worked, it was mostly older women and some men, but mostly older women who had been working there for, like, decades. And so I heard about it, and I said, "You've got the Metallica tickets. I'll take them off you if you want," because I knew myself and a friend of mine, we loved Metallica back then. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't like Metallica. I don't want these. I don't want these at all." And I said, "Well, I'm interested." And he said, "Okay. Well, here, I'll give you one and I'll take you." And at that point, I couldn't say, "Oh my God, I don't want to go anymore," because I'd already expressed so much interest in going. I thought he was going to give me both of the tickets, but there were strings attached. He went with me. We ended up going, and it was a fun concert. It was great. I love Metallica. Um, but he kind of thought it was a date, and I had to sort of be firm with him about that, and it didn't end up very well. So, because there were emotions involved, but that was hard because I didn't really know how to create a boundary back then. I was maybe rough around the edges. So, but I did see Metallica. Yeah, Eaton's is gone. Yeah, the Bay is gone too. All of those department stores are gone. Do you remember Simpsons? You probably were too young for Simpsons. I had a friend who worked at Simpsons. They in this little mall, they had Eaton's, the Bay, and Simpsons. That was another big one. All right. Last one here. Another physical boundary, and I wanted to include this because this is a good one too that I'm sure we can all talk about. Um, this one here. A coworker stands too close in the elevator. Physical boundary. It just reminds me of, um, I got to tell you, this is terrible, but I want to know if anyone has done this, and I'm sure you have. When you're in the elevator and you see someone's coming, you press that button, the closed door button. Have you ever done that? I used to do that all the time. Closed door, closed door, closed door, because I didn't want this person in the elevator with me. Okay, I'm bad, but come on. Have you guys done this? Please tell me you have. You remember Simpsons, but barely. Yeah, that was. I love those department stores. They were fun. They had everything. Um, Another thing that this reminds me of is if you're a Seinfeld fan, there was an episode called The Close Talker. Judge Reinhold was in it. I'm just going to show you a picture of it just to jog your memory if you are a Seinfeld fan. If I can find it, let me see. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. This is just a picture of one of the scenes in that show, The Close Talker. And this one was really about boundaries when you think about it. Judge Reinhold, the one on the left, he was the close talker. And whenever he would talk to people, he would be right up in their face talking to them. And at this scene, it's too bad I didn't get the right one because they were actually touching noses at one point and they were talking, and Jerry was trying not to laugh. And it was so funny to watch. Judge Reinhold was so funny in this, the close talker. And I remember I worked with a woman like that. She was a close talker. And it's like, whoa, go get out of my personal space here. Close talker. My God, she went right up to the face. And that reminds me of, the coworker who stands too close to you in the elevator, or, the cliche when you're in a movie theater and it's almost empty and someone sits right next to you. Like, what are you doing? Get away from me. How do you deal with that? Honesty is the best policy, right? Of course. But sometimes it's hard to do that when you're in the situation. You almost have to be prepared for it, because who knows? Like, you could be in an elevator and someone's right up next to you and there's no one else in there. It's like, oh my God, am I about to get serial killed here? Like, this person is a little too close to me. Like, how do you react to that? You have to have a strong sort of self-worth to be able to respond to that at the time. So Alana is saying, I remember Woolworths. Byways? I never heard of Byways, but I remember Woolworths. We called it Woolworths with an S at the end. So anyway, those are some examples of scenarios of boundaries, you know. I think I'm getting really hot with the wood stove behind me. It's like yesterday it was 27 degrees in the house, and I'm sure it's quite close to that. Plus I have a dog on my lap, so she's a heater. Um, I'm going to close things up today. I would like to close up with an affirmation, and I will share that affirmation with you. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Consumers, yeah, I remember consumers. That was a great idea. I almost said treadmill, the rolly thing. That was a great idea. No storefront. So here's an affirmation that is close to my heart that I came across. It was actually in, it's in the Boundary Basics cards of that deck. And it says, despite my feelings of guilt, I am acting in my own best interest. And this is something that a lot of us could, conveyor belt, there you go. That's something that a lot of us could use as an affirmation. Despite my feelings of guilt, I'm acting in my own best interest. And the biggest example that I can give you is that almost just over a year ago, I finally came to a point where I told my husband that I wanted to separate. And it was final this time. I wanted to see if separation would help us. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want any kind of separation. He said he would never leave me. And he ended up taking his life after that. So I felt terrible guilt after that. So despite my feelings of guilt, I was acting in my own best interest because it was a toxic relationship that was creating a lot of disease and dis-ease for me. So that's something that's really, really important for us to, remember, that we have to act in our own best interest for our own health, for our own well-being, despite the fact that we know there might be repercussions for it. If we do something and we know we're not doing anything wrong, we shouldn't feel guilt. That's misplaced guilt. But if we're doing something that purposely harms somebody else, then that's a signal to tell us that we're doing something wrong and we should feel guilty about it. But if we're acting in our best interest and we're not purposely trying to hurt somebody, we have to let go of those feelings of guilt. They're normal, but we can't allow that to rule our lives because that's going to destroy us. And in my case, it sent me to the liquor store every day for 3 months. That guilt, I couldn't handle it. It was overwhelming. I could not handle it. But I got a little bit of therapy and I did a lot of education, self-education, and I realized it was misplaced guilt. So I didn't allow myself to feel guilty anymore, and it was gone. It washed away real quick like. So another thing, I want to give you guys some homework for those watching live and those on the replay. You've got a little bit of homework from Rain, and here it is. It's a little journaling that you can do. When you feel like it, just think of this. And Alana, this is good for you. Within my family, a boundary I struggle with is, and you don't have to share it in the chat, just reflect on it and journal on it. Within your family, a boundary that you struggle with is, for an example, a boundary that I used to struggle with a long, long time ago with my blood relatives. Okay, am I back, guys? Am I back now? I think I'm back. It said that I lost my internet connection. And it's interesting because I don't have Barnyard internet anymore. I actually have Starlink now, and it's been going really well. I have not lost the connection. Yeah, it said that I lost my internet connection, so I don't know what happened. Maybe a bird flew on top of the satellite dish. But I actually went on my phone and I put my phone as the modem. So, hi. Yes, I'm back. Back in black. Yes, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I don't recognize your handle. I don't recognize your handle. Do I know you? at BLKJCKGTR3075. Yeah, I got rid of my barnyard internet, and I finally Starlink was able to offer service in this area, and I got hooked up in, I think it was early February. Oh my gosh, what a difference. What a difference. But I don't have it set up very well because it was winter. So I couldn't put it up on my roof. It's kind of sitting in my backyard and it's not really aligned very well. So there is possibility that I lose my connection once in a while, but I put my phone on, so I'm good now. Um, yeah, so I don't know where I got cut off, but I wanted to share this with you. Hold on. Let me reshare that homework with you. Okay. There we go. There's the homework. Okay. Within my family, a boundary I struggle with is, so I was talking about how a long time ago with my family, who I'm estranged from now, best decision I ever made, by the way, I'm healthy now. Um, Lurking, sorry to hear about your husband. Oh, didn't recognize your picture or your channel name. That's true. Blackjack Guitar, I remember you. Yeah, transformation and total transformation. I really, really needed it. Um, right, my own family. Thank you, Alana. Like, whew. um, if you didn't go to Sunday dinner, you were talked about badly. And sort of that was the hook that kind of got people to go because nobody wanted to be talked badly about. My mother would actually openly say, if you don't come, we're talking shite about you. And they did. And so I would go every Sunday. Even when I moved like an hour and a half drive away, I felt obligated to go there. So I struggled with the boundary of saying to my family or my mother specifically, I'm sorry, but I can't do Sunday. No, not I'm sorry. You're not supposed to apologize. See, it's ingrained. You have to stop yourself when you do that. I am not able to attend your Sunday dinners anymore. I don't feel comfortable here. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. I don't have to start telling them why. I don't have to start telling, wavering a little bit and saying, yeah, I'm sorry, but I just don't, it's so far away and I have a tummy ache and this and that and this and that. No, boundaries are about being clear, being firm, but being gentle about it if you can. Like, you don't want to go and say, back off. I am not coming to your dinner anymore because you talk crap about me when I'm not there. If you want to continue a relationship with the person that you're setting a boundary with, you have to be gentle about it. And that's why it takes a little bit of thought. That's why you have to use your cold mind and say to yourself, okay, I am not going to make this decision, take this action, or say this thing out of emotion, out of my hot mind when I'm all flustered and panicky. I'm going to do it from my cold mind where I'm reasonable and I'm rational and I'm calm. It's like, make the decision before you have to. Do the action, plan the action before you have to. Plan what you're going to say before you have to. That's using your cold mind. And that's what you need to do when you're establishing boundaries and trying to communicate them with people. So I just wanted to leave you that homework, my friends. And I don't know what else we can talk about. This is my first live stream in a heck of a long time. I think I did one in the fall, but I was talking a lot about anger because I went through a lot of anger in the last 10 months. That was one of the stages of grief that I was really dwelling on. And I am going to talk about the stages of grief I've already recorded the video. I'm trying to put out one a week. So I've got one scheduled for this week and one scheduled for the week after, which is going to be talking about the stages of grief that I went through. And Blackjack Guitar, I forgot to say thank you very much. No, I didn't really talk about his suicide. I don't know. I just sort of disappeared for a while. And I changed the name of my channel and I got rid of all of the old videos because I wanted to take this channel in a new direction, according to what I was studying and according to my own healing journey. And part of the healing journey was chopping my hair off and going blonde, Do we have more fun? Not sure. Am I blonde now? Oh, those blonde jokes. Now I can make those jokes about myself now. All the blonde jokes. But yeah, it was a good transformation. It was interesting when I cut my hair. It was a couple of days before Christmas. I went like this because my hair was like down to my waist at that point, the long red hair. When I would straighten it, it was really long. I went like this and I went like that. And I had like a foot of hair in my hand. And then I was like, another 6 inches of hair in my hand. I've got clippers. Let's do it. Did it. Clipped all my hair off, but I kept my bangs. It was still red at that point, but then I decided, oh, I think I'm going to pull out the bleach and I'm going to do it. I wanted a big change, you know? So that's what I did. And when you do something like that, when you change your physical appearance or you change your style a little bit, it helps. It makes you feel good. You know, it motivates you to do other good things that make you feel good. So it's like, you know, a chain reaction. I love it. So Alana says, that's why I feel it's okay to say sorry if it helps to soften the blow. Well, I don't think so. I'm going to agree to disagree with you on that because I think when we apologize for a boundary, we're not giving it what it's worth. Boundary is there to keep our energy safe, to keep us from harm, and to keep us in our power. If we're saying sorry while we're communicating a boundary, we're not thinking of our own feelings and our own protection. We're thinking of the other person and their feelings, which is okay. And if you want to say you're sorry when you're communicating a boundary, if that makes you feel comfortable, that's good. As long as you keep the boundary. I personally have stopped saying sorry when it comes to that because I'm not sorry for keeping myself protected and keeping myself safe and valuing my time and my energy and my life. But that's just me. That's just me. So I'm happy to agree to disagree on that one for sure. All right, Blackjack. Good for you, Rain. Good to see you keeping on. Have a great day and weekend, ladies in the chat. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you for popping by. Please do come again. I'll be here every Sunday from now on. You sent me a link, Alana. I'll check that out later. I'm not sure what that is. All right, so, wow, I went an hour and a half today. You guys are great. I'm so happy everyone popped in to say hello, to be with me for my first live stream this year and the Return of Gratitude Hour. I have to feed the fire and take the poodles out, the little hooligans, including this little Missy here, who is, oh, Ali Faye, give me a kiss. Oh, she was out cold the whole time. She's so sweet. I love all my dogs. Yeah, so thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, thank you. I'm going to look after. I think once I hit end stream, I don't think I'm able to see the chat for 24 hours. So let me copy and paste that, or I'll just open it in a new tab. I'll just make sure that the sound isn't on there. Okay, thanks, Alana. So, you recognize that sound? That's your sound. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, thank you, Alana. It was fun. You know, I want to do more than just chat every week. I want to, you know, all of my videos are to share my education and my healing process and my own experience and my stories to help other people along their path. But as we go live, I love the connection with the chatting. But I also want to bring a message every week too. So I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into this channel from now on because I feel that this is my passion. I do have my other channels, you know, my 3 other ones, Rain's Kitchen and Garden, which is doing so well. Oh my gosh. I have almost 13,000 followers on that channel. It's amazing. Um, and that's a fun channel, you know, like I did a video this morning about um, how I build my fire in the wood stove. So I'm just gonna edit that and upload that up on Rain's Kitchen and Garden. That's a fun channel. I have Rain Francis Art for Kids. That is my playing channel where I get to draw things like bananas. I love that channel so much. I have a lot of followers, but I don't have enough views to monetize, unfortunately. Um, Rain Francis Art, which is very slow, and I haven't posted anything on that for a while because I had bad internet before, but now that I have good internet, I can upload bigger videos faster. It used to take me 10 days to upload a 20 gig video. Now it takes me an hour and a half to 2 hours. I love it. So I'm going to be adding more content there, but this one here is my healing channel. This is the one where I feel like I can help people. I feel like this is my purpose and I have a huge passion for it. So I'm really glad that you guys are here along with me on this journey. So thanks, Blackjack. Hope to see you soon. Thanks, Alana. And thanks, Heather. Thanks, Nick. And thanks, Septina, for popping by. I'll talk to you guys soon and sending lots of love. Bye-bye. I'm going to end the stream now. Oh, thank you, Alana. Thank you. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Bye.